So we are farming in the middle of the city, in the middle of Boulder, Colorado. When my grandparents bought this land in 1916, they said they bought a place north of town, but we are 1 mile north of Pearl Street, which is the heart of downtown Boulder. So we have 25 acres of land here. We share that acreage with two nonprofits, Growing Gardens and Mountain Flower Goat Dairy, and the goat dairy currently has 8 goats and 1 llama. Soil is it. Soil is the foundation. If you don't have good soil health, you're not going to have crops or anything. Plus the fact that we want to be good stewards of our land. We've been here 100 years and we're counting on our land to produce for another 100. The biggest fears are just trying to figure out how we produce a row crop basically and keep healthy soil when we're told that soil health should be keeping the soil covered, and that is really against all the practices that we had done before. So it's a big change, and just trying to figure out how to cope with that. We've tried a lot of different things. I mean, one of them inadvertently is just not weeding as much. That's a lot of our cover, our weeds, and just trying to make our crop, which are iris plants, our dominant plant. So some of the things we do is sometimes we don't cultivate between the rows like we used to. So far, we've learned that it's difficult trying to keep the iris at their optimum while still keeping the soil covered. It's sort of challenging to make use of the animals on the property. We can definitely make use of the goats for grazing the non-crop areas, and we also put on the goat manure and the bedding where we're in areas that we've taken the field out of production. But trying to incorporate that good, wonderful manure and bedding into our production fields is a challenge, and we're still working on that one. So still the story continues. For quite a number of years we've been pursuing a conservation easement on our land because we are the last farm in the middle of Boulder, and because of our location, it not only reminds people all the time about agricultural land and our agricultural heritage, it's very accessible, but it also means it's really accessible to people for education. And we have 2 wonderful nonprofits that occupy our farm, Growing Gardens and Mountain Flower Goat Dairy, and that's what we see as the future of the land, really, is that educational aspect. So making sure that that kind of activity can stay is really important to us, and the best way seemed to be to put a conservation easement on the land. And we've worked with the city of Boulder and finally reached agreement, and the voters voted to dedicate tax money so that conservation easement can be purchased on the land, and that will keep the land in agriculture in perpetuity, and we think that's really important and a really good thing to have happen. We also went ahead and asked the state for designation as a centennial farm, and so in 2016 we became eligible, and we are now a centennial farm. So we just found out that we've been awarded the Conservationist of the Year by the state of Colorado, and it's not just us, it's Growing Gardens, which is really more responsible. We're very honored, and we're just glad there are such things because it's so important for everybody to think about soil health. There's a whole world beneath our feet, and we tend to not even think about it or know much about it, so it's really important.